Hey everybody, Political Paula here. I wanted to do one final me say, because this is me, and I have the right to have the final say. The shows that I did on these new tobacco bans while we're legalizing marijuana all over the country for recreational use. That means your kids can go buy marijuana now illegally, like they buy cigarettes illegally to get high. Isn't that great? Look, this is me. I'm not a parent. I'm not. But I have been a child, and I have had a parent. And I will tell you this. If my child came to me and said, Mom, I smoke cigarettes. Mom, I vape. I'd be like, but you're not doing the crack cocaine, right? You're not taking the opioids. You're not using the heroin. No, Mom, I just really like smoking. I like cigarettes. I like the vaping. I'd be like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God it's not the opioids that are killing our young people in outrageous numbers. We don't see our 16, 17, 18, 21-year-old kids dying from lung cancer. No, they're dying from opioid abuse. And where do they get their opioids from? The doctor. The pharmaceutical company that nobody seems to want to reel in and say, stop selling these addictive products. Make a painkiller that doesn't make people go crazy addictive on them. They all nailed the tobacco industry, right? You all nailed the tobacco industry. Let's sue the tobacco industry. They got us hooked on cigarettes. Oh my God. You smoked for 70 years. You smoked 7 packs a day. Yeah, you got sick. Wow, are you surprised? You abused the product. Just like people who drink a glass of wine with dinner every night don't get cirrhosis of the liver. But people who drink a case of beer every single day, they might be getting a little sick from a legal product. Nobody's going to the alcohol industry and saying, stop making it so addictive. You can't only just drink one. They scream at the tobacco industry. And yeah, you know what? Kim, I am defending the tobacco industry here because they're not the only industry in this country that makes addictive products and sells it to children, by the way. Dentists who take out a 16-year-old's wisdom tooth gets them their first hit of Vicodin. It's an opioid. The pharmaceutical industry makes it legally. And the kid gets a 5-day supply, and in 5 days, the kid is hooked. Now the kid can't get any more Vicodin, so now he's going to the street corner getting the heroin. And then all of a sudden, his mom can't find him because he's out on the street looking for more heroin. See, I don't know any kid right now who is missing and his mom can't find him because he's out looking for a pack of menthol cigarettes or he's looking for a jewel. I don't know any parent who's come to me in tears saying, I can't find my son because he was hooked on the opioids and then he got on the heroin and I haven't heard from him in 3 weeks. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know any parent of a child who smokes cigarettes that is in that position. Do you? Do any of you know any parent who has come to you and said, oh, my kid's out of control, they're on the cigarettes. My kid stole money from my purse, they're on the cigarettes. My kid robbed the grocery store to get money for the cigarettes. No. Does the pharmaceutical industry make a drug called Narcan to bring someone back from a cigarette overdose? No. But they make an overdose medication that costs $4,000 to bring someone back from their own product, from an overdose of their product. They make the Vicodin, they make the oxycodone, they make the hydrocodone, they make the Percocet, and when your kid overdoses, they make the $4,000 instant cure to bring them back from death. Philip Morris doesn't have to do that. The Virginia Slim Cigarette Company, they don't have to do that. They don't have to make a product that brings your kid back from a cigarette overdose, because your kids don't OD on cigarettes. Think about that, please. When you're saying how evil the tobacco industry is, and yet you are so excited because you have back pain and you can just go to the doctor and get your Vicodin. Think about the fact that that Vicodin is in your medicine cabinet. And your kids want to get high. They don't want to just smoke a cigarette. They want to get high. Nobody gets high on a bloody Virginia Slims ultralight menthol cigarette that they're trying to ban now because children are getting them. No one gets high on a menthol cigarette, for Christ's sake. They do get high on the Vicodin. They get high on the oxycodone. And where do they get those drugs? From the doctor, from the dentist, from mommy's medicine cabinet. Where do they get drunk? From mommy and daddy's liquor cabinet. And I don't hear anybody criticizing the dilly-dilly commercials we see every day for Budweiser. Dilly-dilly, it's the best beer in the world. Everybody should be drinking it. No child has ever been killed from driving while smoking a cigarette. Children have been killed by people who have been driving, or the child is driving while drunk on alcohol. Children have been killed by people driving on opioids or heroin or crack cocaine or on marijuana. Just saying. So this tobacco industry is so freaking evil, right? And yet, who does the tobacco industry kill? Who dies? Who really does die? Totally from smoking cigarettes. And I mean just from smoking cigarettes. Who got the lung cancer and maybe they smoked a little bit, but they had radon in their basement? Is it the radon? Is it the cigarettes? Who smoked a pack a day till they're 85 years old and then they get the lung cancer? Well, they were going to get cancer or something. That's what they told my aunt anyway. Who has quit smoking and 40 years later gets lung cancer? Is that from smoking? I say no. Illnesses from tobacco are caused by abuse of tobacco products, just like illnesses from alcohol are caused from abuse from alcoholic products. If you drink all day, every day, and you get liver cancer, don't blame the alcohol industry, blame yourself, because you didn't use it the way it was intended. And if you get lung cancer, and you smoke 5 packs of cigarettes a day since you're 16 years old and now you're 70, don't blame the tobacco industry. It's not their fault. And if you're addicted to nicotine, okay, that's too bad for you. And maybe you are owed something from the nicotine company. But what do we say to the parents who have buried their 15-year-olds, their 16-year-olds, their 18-year-olds, their 22-year-olds, their 27-year-olds? What do we say to those parents whose children never smoked a cigarette in their lives? The parents who just took their children to the dentist or to the ER for a broken bone. and lost their children forever. Not because of Philip Morris, not because of RJR Tobacco or Nabisco or whoever makes these bloody cigarettes, not because of them. It's because of the pharmaceutical companies who make the drugs that killed their children. There will be empty seats around the holiday tables this year. Not because of menthol cigarettes or the Juul vaping cigarette. There will be empty seats around the table because of prescription drugs that led to heroin abuse. Think about it, please. And we've already been over all the snarky comments and the crap and, oh, I defend the tobacco industry because I'm a smoker. You're damn right. Because I never had to worry about going to the ER because I smoked a cigarette. But when I took a Vicodin, I was this close to going to the ER because I couldn't move. That's how bad it affected me. You give me 10 cigarettes anytime over one Vicodin. I will never again take a Vicodin or any other prescription painkiller because of the way it affected me more than any drug I've ever done. And believe me, I've done a few. But that Vicodin, that scared the shit out of me. And it scared the shit out of you. And you should be more worried about the prescription drugs your doctor is giving your children than the cigarettes they might get or the Juul little vaping, ooh, I can smoke a pina colada, woo, woo, woo. You should be worried more about what your doctor is prescribing to your kids and getting them hooked on than what they can get at the convenience store. That's all I got to say on this topic. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me because smoking a cigarette to you is worse than your kids downing a fifth of gin. But I submit to you, if your kids are drinking alcohol, if they're using illegal drugs, if they're using opioids, they're using heroin, I promise you, they won't have to worry about lung cancer or emphysema or COPD. They won't live long enough to get it. Political Paula, out.